Hey everyone, in this video I'll be showing you my strategy for the Academy boss with my Glacial Cascade build. This boss deals purely physical damage and is quite dangerous without any armor or Immortal Call. He also has Hex Font, continues to cast different curses, so try to keep a Wording Flask up most of the fight. Pretty much the goal for this is to avoid all damage entirely. If you start taking damage from Cyclone or the Book Throw or whatever, you're going to want to try to get out of it somehow. So there's going to be two rows of bookshelves kind of like this closer together, so you can kind of hide behind them like this to avoid the damage, and sometimes you might have to go to reposition. This is really one of the harder fights. I think this is kind of, along with Palace Dominus and Crematorium boss, I think this one is next in line as far as hardest boss fight for 75 plus maps anyways. One of the problems with it is most of the time you're going to go into the boss room with zero power charges, so it could be difficult to freeze lock. It's kind of unreliable. I've had it go really smoothly where I just go in, freeze the boss, no problem, everything works out fine. But then I've had other fights where I can't get a freeze lock at all, kind of running around scrambling. There's been times on some difficult maps where I've even had to TP back to town to get flask charges. It's just really, this is a nasty boss for this build. So basic strategy is there's going to be either a magic pack or a pack with a rare monster right at the beginning that you can use to get a few charges before you aggro the boss. So that's the best thing to do there, is just sit, take care of those without going in and getting the boss, get a few power charges, then you go in and try to cold snap the boss with the magic pack around it. Sometimes if the magic pack is a high health one, like you get something like Golems and you're on like a enfeeble map, then you're not really going to be able to freeze. But if you are, it might go okay, it might not. So if shit hits the fan and you're just completely unable to freeze, you can kite them around the bookshelves. Basically for as long as it takes to kill. You maybe have to be careful, pop in and out, you might have to TP back. But you'll probably see what I mean. This map is just nothing at all. Don't really have much currency here in Standard, so I'm not really rolling the maps like I normally would be, but it does have Physical Reflect, which basically means I won't be using curses. The reason is, not necessarily going to die to the Physical Reflect, but I'm going to have to leech back the full from the Fizz, which means my leech won't be leeching the damage from the boss, so it's basically like more damage if I use the curse. So when I see a Physical Reflect map, it's basically another curse immunity mod as far as this build is concerned. So swap in Concentrated Effect, and let's see how this goes. Where's the boss? Oh, back there. So now at this point there's kind of more Cyclones that I'm comfortable with, so I'm going to go run behind the bookshelf, let them die down, go back in, try to freeze again. And that actually went pretty smoothly as far as this fight can go. You know, there might be times where you're going to have to run back here a few times, but yeah, all in all, if you're on hardcore, until you get some gear and you're pretty comfortable with the build, wouldn't really recommend risking it on this boss, because things can go wrong pretty quickly. But other than that, that's the Academy boss. If you have any questions or thoughts about the build, please post to my build thread, link it below in the description. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.